G'day, Tragic here, and welcome to the next turn of Mansions of Madness. I am back from my holidays. Time to quickly finish up this game and move along home. Just a quick warning before you watch this video. I wasn't very motivated to do this video, but I felt kind of obligated to, so my heart's not really in it. I kind of rushed through it, and during the editing there was a number of mistakes, so just be warned. Now, there is a huge problem we have because the guys at FFG have updated Mansions of Madness to include the new expansion, woohoo, which I haven't got yet. And also, during this time that I have been on holidays, they've also added a new downloadable quest. But in doing that, they have broken all the save games for everybody who was in the middle of a game. So that is currently what my save game looks like. And as you know, there's no way to save or load in, to have multiple backups. I mean, I guess you could have multiple backups if you wrote like a script on Windows or had an Android app or something that could copy the files manually for you every time, but they probably actually exist. I haven't looked, but my point is my save game is stuffed. But all is not particularly lost because the application is basically just a deck of cards and doesn't really have much ongoing interaction. I should be able to just start a new copy of the game and click through it and get to almost the exact same spot. There might be some different monsters out, but basically we need to just recreate this setup. So the only monster we have out at the moment is the Mygale, and I think we're on turn 8. Yeah, okay, so I've uploaded eight turns. So this is turn 9 that we're starting. So I should be able to, with any luck, and if this doesn't work, I'm sorry, the game is going to be over. But I should be able to hopefully recreate the game. So we just go to new game, and if we come into here, you should see the new quest as well. So this is the new quest I haven't bought yet. It's actually quite expensive. It's like $5 for a single quest, but that's not too bad. I was expecting $2 or $3 for 3 or so quests. And then the new expansion is out. Oh wait, I have to actually enable it just quickly, just so you can see it. But if you enable the new expansion, which I think I'm actually going to get, but if I enable that and I start a new game, boom, 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 there's two quests. It comes with 2 quests for like all that money, so it's a little bit disappointing. Whatever. Anyway, let's just disable that. We don't want monsters and stuff coming from there. And hopefully, let's see if we can. Wait, I haven't got 2nd edition version of these. Why are these turned on? I've got the original editions. There we are. Right, so let's give it a go. So we're going to do new game. We're going to do, what were we doing? Cult of Sentinel Hill. Now our investigators are Kate, Vincent, Harvey, Gloria, and Agatha. So there's Agatha, Gloria, Kate, Harvey. And who was the other one? Kate. Oh, Vincent. Ooh, that's not Vincent. Yeah, it is. Okie dokie. So we start with very different items. And with any luck, we'll
asking questions in Dunwich.
be able to do this. Yep, okay, so we have the same start tile. Oh, this is going to be a pain. Okay, so I won't put you through this, but I'll try and get this working. It's interesting because, as you can see, it's actually the exact same quest. This is what I was talking about in my final thoughts for the first video. I mean, it's a computer game. Why didn't they give it some kind of variance? I mean, it should be different every single time you play, regardless. Yep, all those things are gone. Okay, so that is the map set up. Now we'll just advance all the turns. This is turn 1, so 2. Okay, so they are different monsters at least. Okay, so this is turn 7. We still haven't had that Mygao. We've got a crawling one. I'm not going to kill this one just yet. Okay, so we're just going to continue from here. Alright, the Mygao's got 7 damage on him. That's right, he was going to die next activation. We need to change this to a crawl in chaos. And in the app, we need to give it 7 wounds. Okay, so I think we're ready to start. Let's get into this. Now, try and remember everything. Basically, Kate is wounded, so she can only perform move action more than once each round. Okay, and she's insane. And I'm just going to assume everything else is correct here. So, now this is a bit of a disaster, and this is a great example of why applications suck. Okay, so she's going to go 1, 2, and he's going to go Harvey Walters. No, he's just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Walk down the edge of the water here. Goldbird's going to go. Who has? We know that we have to use. You know, because we tried to. Vincent tried to open this question mark last turn, I think. My memory is pretty faded actually, but basically, yeah. So this you need to use. Oh wait, we can actually, as long as the rules of the game say you can actually click on these things as long as you don't activate them. Yeah, so you can use puzzle. You can do the puzzle, but you have to do evidence has to be used instead of clues to advance it, which shouldn't be too much of a problem. So who has evidence on us? Harvey has evidence. And Kate has tons of evidence. Okay, so 1, 2, 1, 2. So he's going to go 1, 2 and do a trade action with Agatha as he walks by and take both of her evidence. Oh wait, doesn't she have some kind of stupid... Yeah, that's alright. So she takes those 2 evidence and gives it to Harvey. Now Gloria, she's got kleptomania, I think. No, yeah, this is Gloria here. claustrophobia, that doesn't worry us because we're outside. Hallucinations, roll 1 for your dice, that's fine. She has the key. And nothing of interest. So she's then going to go 1, 2 and pick up all this evidence. Oh, we're not going to be able to chain it down. Let me think. 1, 2, and then push her to here. 1, 2, push her to here. Yeah, we're not going to be able to actually get this evidence where we need it. Okay, so Vince is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And take all the evidence. And that leaves little old Kate is the only person who hasn't done anything, so she's just going to go 1 and look at this clue here. This is the perfect dark line from the top of Sentinel Hill to its base where no grass has grown. The streak of dead grass is still wet where the blood of countless animals has flown from the circle of standing stones. Gain 1 clue, then discard this search token. So she now gains a clue, which is kind of cool. Okay, so that was a pretty bad turn, didn't really do anything. I think I'm going to go straight into the next turn. I want to kind of get this video up and move along. So let's just go, kabam. The fire spreads out of control. Let's just put a fire there. I can't do the copy because there's a limited amount of fire tokens. I keep forgetting about that. That means if you ever run out of fire tokens, you have to move fire from somewhere else. I've never seen that actually happen in a game, but it is a rule, so it's, I guess they play tested it and thought it might happen, I don't know. A sickening purple light glows over Sentinel Hill and you can faintly see a thin man silhouetted against the thunderous sky. Spawn a wizard indicated. This is the old Wheatley. Okay. So we need a wizard. I probably should have just attempted that puzzle anyway. Instead of whatever. Okay, so the wizard is out. Zublin seems to fall into a trance as he climbs to the peak of Sentinel Hill to stand by the cavern altar. Move Zublin Wheatley as indicated. Okay. A heavy look passes from the wizard to his battered relation. You can see old Wheatley raise one hand clenched into a fist, and Zublin screams as his ribs explode in gore. The altar receives most of the blood, collected in the worn center. Oh, I think we screwed up. Probably want that guy to survive. Discard Wheatley and the search token. Okay, that's not looking good. Poor Wheatley, you're dead. Well, sorry, mate. You catch a bit of what old Wheatley mutters over the spilled blood, but his words settle a deep dread in your bones. While I wish I could have used the outsiders as the final blood for the strengthening, perhaps it is better that it was a Wheatley that gave me control over the beast at last. Old Wheatley raises both hands in silence, and the sky answers with an enormous peal of thunder. You feel the rumble in your bones, and with growing horror you realize the rumble is due to more than the weather. An impossible beast materializes over old Wheatley, the size of it dwarfing even the hill itself. Spawned the Dunwich Horror as indicated. Okie dokie. The Dunwich Horror. Let's scale this sucker up. make him nice and big and scary looking. Whoa, the Dunwich Horror's out. Not good. A pale young woman emerges from behind a tree, wiping something dark from her lips. Spawn a child of the goat. Okay. Okie dokie. Old Wheatley and the Colt have control of a terrifying monster, and you're the only ones who can stop it. You grit your teeth and ready your weapon to fight ahead. Okay, so we're well into part B. Plan B. We didn't get to stop the ritual, now we have to fight this impossible monster. The crawling one activates, but the crawling one is on a fire, and it only has 1 health left, so it instantly dies. Boom. Old Wheatley moves up to 2 spaces to be within range of as many investigators as possible. Then it attacks each investigator within range. Okie dokie. So you can move 2. So... one... Okay, so if he moves there, he's in range of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so he moves there and attacks everyone. We'll start with Kate Arunsky over here. So, the monster attacks. A howling Arctic gale kicks up from nowhere, screaming and bitterly cold. As you begin to freeze to death, shards of ice blowing by the wind slash at your skin and clothing. Suffer 2 face-down damage. Strength negates. Okay, so her strength is a lowly 3, and she has kleptomania, which isn't a problem. Okay, so she gets 1 success, so she only gets 1 damage. If you suffer 1 or more damage, the snow and ice... Okay, so we're going to spend that clue she just got to turn this into a success. So she negates all damage. Okay, next. Oh. Okay, so they all fight the same thing. So his strength is 4. Ugh. He's going to spend 2. His strength is 3. Okay, so if you suffer 1 more face down damage, the snow and ice has become dazed. Okay, so he becomes dazed. And he suffers 2 face down damage. Okay. She has a strength of 2. Okay, so she has the same thing. Dazed. 1, 1, 2, and 2 face down damage. She has a strength of 2. And she also fails miserably and takes 2 face down damage. And becomes dazed. Now dazed is you cannot use clues. Okay, that's bad. The Dunwich Horror moves 2 spaces towards the nearest investigator, then it attacks each investigator in its space or adjacent space. Okay, so it just moves here and attacks Kate. This can't be good. What? I hit monster attacks. Look, the monster attacks. It didn't give me any way for it to attack. Okay, well, I guess nothing happens. I hit... Look, monster attacks. I even hit the... You can see it in the log. I hit the button, the monster attacks. I didn't get any attack text. App integrations are awesome in board games. Oh yeah, they're freaking awesome. Okay, whatever. The goat child moves 2 spaces to be in the space with as many investigators as possible. Well, that's quite easy. There you go. And then it attacks each investigator. The monster attacks. Okay. The fanatic charges forward, developed in a cloud of swirling shadow that burns your flesh. Suffer 1 face down damage and 1 horror. Strength negates. And this is Gloria and Vincent. So his was 4 strength. So he has quite a decent strength. Wow, we are rolling fantastic. Suffer 1 face down damage and 1 horror. So he gets 1 damage and 1 horror. Minor shock, no additional effect. That's nice. And Gloria is the other one. Her strength is 2. And she gets 1. So I'm going to negate the horror and take the face down damage. Okie dokie. So we lucked out by the thing bugging out. And now I have to do the horror checks. Start with Wheatley versus everybody. An ethereal grey figure appears before old Wheatley, and you watch as it plunges its hand through the thin robes to suck out the caster's life. After it disappears, old Wheatley only seems more determined to torture you. Suffer 1 horror. So everybody suffers a horror. There's nothing we can do about it. And Wheatley can hit everybody, I believe, because we moved him here, and yeah. 1, 2, yeah, he's in the range of everybody. Minor shock, no effect. Nice. Okie doke, yonk. Flashback. Flip 1 other horror and then discard this card. Nice. I've only got 1 other horror here, and it's minor shock. Nice. Another minor shock. Excellent. Yonk. God, more insanity. Keep face up. Whenever you end your turn in a space with darkness, suffer 1 face down horror. That's alright, because there is no darkness. She's going quite mad. Now, she is not insane yet, thank you. And finally, panic. Suffer 1 additional face down damage. Then flip this card face down. Okay, so that's not good. Okay, so she's almost dead. Doesn't look good. Okay, let's do the Dunwich horror. This has got to be horror. For an instant, in the thing's writhing movements, you can see the awful suggestion of a human being. Mind 3. Okay, so he is obviously Decate. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So everybody except Agatha gets hit by this. Starting with Kate, so we need 3 dice. She's got no clues. So she gets 2. If you pass, okay, we didn't. If you fail, you cannot unsee it. The awful familiarity of the pallid skin, its inarticulate moans, suffer 3 horror. Wow, this is just game over, isn't it? 1. Flip. Roll 1 for a dice in your next mind test. 1, 2. Minor shock. 3. Minor shock. So that's 5, 6, 7. So we have 1 horror left. Vincent. Suffer 3 horror. Minor shock. Paranoia. Whenever you end your turn within range of another investigator, flip 1 horror face up. Nice. Yonk. Another minor shock. And we have 3, 4. So we go down to 4 because we start. Oh no, we start with 6. So we go down to 2. 6, yeah. Okay. Flashback. Flip 1 of the face horror, then discard this card. Shuffle that one back in. Shuffle this one. Suffer 1 additional face down horror for each spell. He has no spells. Okay, so that's 1 horror we've gotten. 2, minor shock. And 3, minor shock. So that's 4 off 9. Bam. Okie dokie. So become restrained, then discard this card. What's this called? Shrieking fit. You scream and scream and scream, and then you cry and cry, and then giggle, and then hiccup. Excellent. So restrained, I don't think we've had restrained before. Restrained means we cannot move. So we are dazed and constrained. And Agatha up here doesn't actually do a horror check. Okie dokie. Your foe begins a slow chant, rising and falling in a cacophonous and human whirl. Suffer 1 horror, mind negates. Okay, so she is... This guy is dead, by the way. She is 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3. So she hits everybody. Starting with Vincent her will is 4. And I believe we only need 1 success. Come on. Let's have a little bit of luck, shall we? Okay, so that's a pass. His law is 3. We only need 1 success. Yep. Okay, his one is 4. Okay. Her one is also 4. Oh, complete miss. So she suffers another horror. Minor shock. So we've got 1, 2. So we've got 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh dear. And even this bird over here, now she gets a horror check. So she gains another clue. And then she's got to roll 5 lore. What's going on here? Why can't I roll them all at once? There we go. Okay, and she also passes. Booyah. In the phase. Okay, I'm going to go straight into the next phase. This guy moves 2. 1, 2, and then attacks everyone adjacent. So we've got to just unload. Let's unload into the wizard first. How much health does he have? He has 12 health. 48 health for the Dunwich Horror. That's ridiculous. 6 health for the goat spawn. So I think we're going to do what I call attrition rolling in wargaming, which means I think it's better to kill and remove threats from the board than to slightly damage some threats. So we're going to kill the goat spawn. But before we kill the goat spawn, we're going to... Who is it? Yellow. Where is Yellow? She's right over here. So she's going to use her ability to force the Dunwich Horror back 1. And she can do 1, 2, 3. She can do a shriveling spell. So she's going to do a shriveling spell on the goat spawn. Attack with spell. You try and sound your way through the alien words. Do a Law 2 test. If you pass, you... Okay. Let's just do the Law 2 test. She does have the ritual dagger, so she gets an extra 1. So her Law is 4, so she gets 5 dice. Okay, so we only need... we only need 2 successes. And we fail. Okay, so that's a bit of a bummer. If you fail, your approximation of the words yield no effect. You feel for a moment as if the strained boils and lesions have taken hold within your brain. Suffer 1 face down horror, then discard this card. Okay. So, we suffer 1 extra horror. 6, 7, 8. That means we actually go insane. And I'll just get another shriveling spell. Okay, so all these get put back except for the face-up ones. So we're still on 6 mental health. And we have to take a new insanity card. You do not win the game as normal. At the start of your turn, if 6 or more rooms contain fire, you immediately win the game and the game ends. One, two, three, four, five, six. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What does that mean? The game's over? At the start of your turn, so I've got to wait till the start of my turn. If 6 or more rooms contain fire, you immediately win the game and the game ends. What? That's bizarre. What a terrible card. Does that mean the game's over? Okay. So she's going to do another spell versus that monster. Attack it again with a spell. It's the same deal. So let's roll this. Come on. And we miss again. Excellent. The spell seems to resonate and echo within your mind. You direct the resonance to another foe, suffer 1 face down horror, then another monster within range suffers 3 damage. What did it say? Oh god, I should have read that more closely. It suffer 1 face down horror. Did I shuffle this? Better shuffle it. Okay, so we put 3 face down horror on Wheatley. Okay. Well, that's the end of her turn. Vincent. Who's got the best chance of killing people here? The Doctor. No, Gloria. Okay, Gloria's got the revolver. So she's going to use the revolver on the goat monster. It is a firearm. You take careful aim and squeeze off a single shot. Oh, observation. Okay, so her observation is 4, but she has roll 1 fewer dice on observation, so she's only got 3. She can't use clues because she's dazed, and we get 2. We just rolled 10 dice and didn't get a single double. Okay, so she got 2, yep. If you pass, the shot bursts through your foe, blood and lead exiting the other side. The monster suffers damage equal to the weapon's damage plus your test result. Okay, so that is 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Okay, she is now going to shoot at the wizard. Oh, she can't because there's a monster in her space. So I guess she's going to shoot again at the goat spawn. You and your forest center do agility 1. So we only need agility +1 it was actually. So that's 4 dice. We only need 1 success. Okay, so she gets 3. 1, 2, 3, and the goat spawn is dead. Succumbing to her wounds, the pale woman keens a long high note and flashes a purple light consumer. All that's left behind is a peculiar burn on the forest floor. The shape of that burn almost seems an image of the horror itself. Place the missing link unique item in the... Okay, so... the missing link goes in here. I think we're well beyond collecting stuff like that. Oh wait, unique item. And the goat spawn is dead. Okay, so... has anyone else got any weapons? When an investigator drops this card, place fire in this space. I guess... Vince is just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and Agatha's also going to go 1, 2. She can only move once. And the doctor is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to run away. The fire spreads out of control. Place fire in the adjacent space containing fire. So, put that in there. Oh, I copied it again, doesn't matter. You are suddenly aware of the awful unstoppable passage of time, obsessively dwelling on your ultimate mortal fate. Each investigator suffers 2 face-down horror mind negates. So, mind of 3. Everybody is no longer stunned and all that stuff now. Well, that's a pass. 3 successes. No longer days, it doesn't matter. Mind of 4. And we needed 2 face down horror, so that's another face down horror for you. Mind of 4. No longer dazed. That's a pass. No longer restrained, no longer dazed. Mind of 4. That's a pass. We're definitely passing this. Yeah, it's 2 horror. And will of 4. No longer dazed. And that's 1 face down horror. Yoink. Oh, Oh, actually, yeah, no, we're going to leave it like that. Okay, so that's all done. Ooh. A monster bearing the twisted appearance of an old Wheatley creation slips through the forest shadows. Spawn a deep one. Search. Oh, another of the cult's monsters forces its way through the underbrush towards you. Spawn a hunting horror. I wonder if these have flying. Okay, that's flying. This monster can move through impassable borders that represent water, so it can move through that dotted line. The titanic beast seems to be toying with you, but soon it might unleash its full strength. Your muscles throb as you raise your arms for the next assault. Alt Wheatley moves 2 spaces to be in range with as many as possible. They're all out of range because they're inside that thing. So he doesn't have to move, so he can hit both of these guys. So that's Kate and Gloria. The monster attacks. Alt Wheel appears to double over with raspy laughter, but you see that Icarus forms dropping to the ground and scuttling towards you. Do agility 3. Her agility is 3. She has nothing that faces agility. Yep. Yeah, bam. Complete miss. If you fail, no matter how quickly you brush them off, one of the insects eventually bites you on the neck. Suffer 2 face down damage and 1 horror and become dazed. So dazed, 2 face down damage and 1 horror. Startled, no immediate effect. Discard this card. And Gloria is the next one. She was agility, wasn't it? Yeah, agility 3. Pass. If you pass, stomping on the black insects leaves a rancid smell in the air, but none manage to crawl onto you. Flip 1 horror face up. Okay. Minor shock. Excellent. Okie dokie. Next. The Dunwich horror moves 2 spaces towards the nearest and attacks. So that's again, move in here and attacks. Let's see if it actually attacks this time. Monster attacks. Yes. With a voice like a breaking use, the creature calls out, Aya Aya Yog Sokoth. Suffer 1 horror. Okay, dokie. Minor shock. You feel gravity begin to spin around you. Law 2. Her law is 4. Complete fail. Choose the rifle. God, why didn't she use it? If you pass, you realize what is happening. Oh, we fail. If you fail, you fall upwards and sideways and down again. Suffer 3 face down damage. 1, 2, 3. That takes her to 7 damage. She only has 6, so she is not dead. She is just wounded. And Gloria Goldberg. Oh my entire screen just flashed. That better not have broken the. That better not have broken the recording. I'm going to keep powering through. Same deal. Law of 4. Okay, so that's 2 successes. And we pass. If you pass, you realize what is happening and grab hold of a nearby tree. Okay, nothing happens to her. Sweet. Well, that wasn't too bad. D1 moves 2 spaces towards the near and then it attacks with the lower strength. 1, 2. Lower strength. Strength of 2. Strength of 3. So it attacks Agatha. Monster attacks. The growling and hissing of the deep one attacks with a savage swipes. Its webbed claws suffer 3 damage. Strength plus 1 negates. So she has 3 dice. She's going to spend one of her clues. How many? 3 damage. Oh, she may as well spend both her clues. She gets 3 successes and she passes. The hunting horror moves 3 spaces towards the nearest investigator within range. I don't think anyone's in range. No one's in range because they're inside the building. 1, 2, 3. Yep, no one's in range. No investigators within range. The creature opens its mouth and breathes in, tasting the air. Catching the scent of prey, the creature shrieks and slithers through the air. The hunting horror moves 3 spaces towards the nearest investigator. 1, 2, 3. Each investigator must now resolve horror checks, starting with Wheatley. He goes to both Vincent and Kate. Old Wheatley's eyes go wide for a moment, objectively terrified by a secret vision. Then a trembling finger is raised to point at you. Suffer 3 face-down horror. Will plus 1 negates. Her will is 3. She gets 1 fewer dice, so she only gets 3. Because it's will plus 1. And she's still rolling atrociously. So she has 1 success, 3 face down horror. 1, 2, 3. So that's 5, 6, 7. And she starts with 8. And Goldberg. She also has, no, she's got minus sight test. So she gets 5 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And she gets 3 successes, which means she completely passes. The Dunwich hits both of those same people again. This is just, I think this is just game over. The creature tread shakes the earth, sending you tumbling to 3 strength. Wow. Her strength is only 3. She gets 1 success, so that's a fail. If you fail, you feel panic and shame course through you as you stumble and drop one of your treasured possessions. Suffer 2 horror and drop 1 random common item. Okay. Minus shock. Steeply resolve. Become focused, then flip this card face down. Okay, that's kind of cool, I guess. Should have used the card. Forgot that she had the carbine rifle. Okay, so she now is 7, 8, 9, which means she's dead. If you have suffered horror equal to your insanity, you are eliminated. So she is eliminated. And I'll just tool. Yonk. Okay, so she's dead. Now, the death rule means that we have one more turn and that's the end of the game. But I think I'm going to call it after this. I don't think there's any way we can win. I'm just going to stop right here. We got pretty far, but this is just game over. And we just didn't do it quick enough. We spent too much. We fell into that old trap of looking at too many actual, clues and not trying to get to the end game fast enough. I think if I played this again, I would complete it pretty easily. You basically just got a beeline to the altar down here, and then just keep doing that puzzle, which we never actually got to see. Well, thanks for watching. Sorry it took me so long to get to the end of this video, but Christmas came and I went on holiday, and I was not very motivated to finish it because I knew the game was lost. And after that last terrible 2 turns, which I kind of rushed through a little bit, I'm just over it. So we're calling it here. But yeah, I'll do my final thoughts on this, and it'll focus on the quest, but also on Tabletop Simulator as a system to play games. And I promise my next game will not be inside one of these virtual maps. And I will see you guys next time.